Good morning. Welcome to National Flooring Equipment's presentation on the Helix Grinder. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Helix. We're going to talk a little bit about the features and benefits and the value prop of it and why we believe that this is such a great tool for an end user to solve a lot of different problems. Everybody wants to get excited about grinders? Not really, but if you realize that there's so many things that this tool can actually do for you to solve so many different problems, you might get a little bit excited like I do. And I'm going to make a quick comparison. This is a toolbox. It's kind of like the grinder. This toolbox is fantastic. But what if there's only one tool in that toolbox? It's not a very good tool. It's not that helpful. You have this big huge box with one tool in it. So when it comes to the Helix, this is like a toolbox full of tools. So it's not just a toolbox, but it's a toolbox full of tools for every kind of solution that you're looking for. The machine itself weighs just over 200 pounds. It's modular. That means I can quick take this machine apart. Yesterday, in another short video, I took it apart and I just lifted it up in the back of a truck all by myself. It has removable weights on the top, in the front and the back. You can also remove the Grind and Scrape Deluxe plate, which is the tooling holder, and there's also a weight underneath it that you can remove if you're not as strong as the next guy. The handle folds for transport, and it also quick disconnects. You guys can see that some of the features, like it has a light on it, which is fantastic. You can see what you've done to the floor. We're all trapped in these environments where it's demolition or rework and there's no power or very limited lighting. That's a really nice thing to have. If you don't have it, it's really hard to tell what you've done to the floor, whether you need to back up or go slower or maybe even speed up. It also has a way to run the hose to connect. The shroud is actually positionable on the machine, and it has an edging plate, and I can pick that up and rotate it to the left or to the right, so I can edge on either side of this machine. This machine is capable of about 130 pounds of grinding pressure. It's also equipped with a 1.5 horsepower motor, which is pretty nice, and it's also 2 speeds. So depending on whether you're on 50 or 60 hertz, on 50 hertz, I believe on high speed, which is 1, it's about 3,200 RPMs at the motor. And if you want to slow it down on speed 2, you can slow that down to about 1,800 RPMs. This is a passive planetary grinder. And in a minute, I'm going to flip up and kind of show you guys the bottom of it and show you how you can utilize some different tooling. And it's also, you can use the passive planetary, or you have the option to use the direct drive, which is really, really cool. That makes the versatility a little bit even better. We talked, before I tilt it back, this handle is actually positionable. So I can adjust this handle wherever I want to. I can also adjust the handle and run it like this if I'd like to. And I can fold it all the way down. Just locks right into place real quickly. Those adjustments are super easy. I can turn my light off if I don't need it, but most of the time I'm going to leave the light on because the Helix is only going to pull about, on average, of about 12 amps. So if you're plugged into a 15 or 20 amp breaker, having the light on or running at high speed is never going to be an issue. So let me show you how to disconnect the handle. Normally you would unscrew this, the 2 outlets, the plugs together, real simple, and there's just 2 quick disconnects. Now my handle's disconnected. To reconnect it, it's just as easy. When I'm ready to go back to work, I'm just going to pop it into place, make sure that they both locked in. They did. And now before I tip it back, I'm going to do the responsible thing and unplug it. Always a good idea. So we're going to tilt this back so you guys can see it. Can you see that, Nick, at this angle? Yeah. You have the ability to put tooling right on, directly on the plate by removing these 5-inch passive planetary discs. You can put 2 diamonds, 2 diamonds, 2 diamonds, 4 diamonds, 4 diamonds, 4 diamonds, or you can put 6 directly on the ring. Typically, diamonds on the ring itself, it's a little more aggressive, but it tends to be a little more aggressive on the profile. If you put the 5-inch passive planetary on, it tends to smooth the floor out much better and not be quite as aggressive as far as the marks that it's leaving on the floor. So I know that's hard to see. Let's go back and talk a little bit about our toolbox. This is what the bottom of the machine looks like up close. You guys see that? Another super awesome feature about this is the tooling's magnetic. So all I have to do is pop it into place. You do have the option to bolt it through the back if you're in a really tough application, such as thin set or patch removal. But it just pops in there, and then I'm just going to take it right off. So let's talk about the versatility of this machine. This is probably what excites me the most. Other than the fact that I can edge with this, and then it's modular, and the 2-speed features. If I was a contractor, or if I was trying to sell this to a contractor, this is the real selling point here. I can polish all the way up to 3,000 with resin pads. Well, 400 is really about the closest that you can really tell the difference with a smaller machine, but I can run all the way up to a 3,000 pad on it. This is a Velcro adapter plate that fits right on the bottom. It's 5 inches. I can put sandpaper. I can also put my resin pads on this. What else can I do with this machine? Besides polish and put sanding discs. The sanding discs are great for refinishing old decks. I can refinish wood floors. I'll have videos of that next week. You've got pads like this that are capable of just Velcroing right to those 5-inch discs and refinishing wood floors. We're going to talk a little bit about tooling. We'll start on the aggressive side. I can put 1-inch carbides, 1 or 2 on a holder. Can take up glue off the floor. Can also peel off thick brittle epoxies this way. Can you see that, you guys?
Can you bring it a little closer?
A little closer? This one's used just so you can kind of see how it works. Also, I'm holding in my hand PCDs. These PCD is a short industry term for a polycrystalline diamond. These little micro PCDs, 2-ups and 4-ups. So I have 130 pounds of head pressure on these 2 little squares or these 4 little squares. That is great for taking up thick epoxies or any thick materials on the floor. In the case that I wanted to take up thin set where the tile's gone, or some delaminated concrete or any other material, I can also use 1-up and 2-up PCDs that are the button style. These are, obviously, if you have all the head pressure on one, super aggressive. If they're on the 2-ups, it's still aggressive, but not quite as aggressive because you're spreading out that head pressure. And you guys are welcome to ask questions. You can chat live. We've got the entire national marketing team assembled behind the camera that you can't see, that is really the brains bringing this to you in the operation. So feel free to chat in questions, and I'll try to answer them live. If you're watching this video at a later date and you have questions, there's the number on the bottom of the screen. You're welcome to call National. We are chock full of industry experts that can talk you through every single feature and benefit, every single piece of tooling. Each tooling's specific applications because there's lots of applications for each tooling. So keep that in mind. Diamonds. Let's talk a little bit about diamonds. We can use half bars, the little squares. So these are pretty fast because you have all the head pressure on just 2 little squares. If you want to be a little less aggressive on your marks on the floor and get a little bit longer lasting diamond, you can go to these trapezoidal 2-bar diamonds. And then a lot of times in the polishing process, or if guys are just trying to smooth the floor out, they're going to go to these pie-shaped diamonds such as this. So you have all kinds of ranges of grits and aggressiveness of these as well, starting at 0, going all the way up to 120. So that's also pretty nice because you can do a lot of different things, and you need a lot of different diamonds for different applications. We also have these Velcro backed 5-inch brazed diamond pads. And you guys, I don't know how well you can see in the video. These are 16 grits, these are 100 grits and everything in between. Super aggressive, a lot less aggressive. But all the diamonds are exposed. So if you really need to get through a job quickly, this is a great way to do it. These 5-inch brazed diamonds, all you can use all of this on the Helix. What if the floor's real wavy? Concrete's not flat. Well, imagine that. Concrete that's not flat. These are also brazed diamonds, but they're in a smaller footprint. And the point of that is, if you need to get into those low spots, these kind of brazed diamonds tend to fall in the low spots a little bit better than the 5-inch brazed pad. So having the right brazed diamond for the application is important, and the nice part is National offers all of those. One of the most exciting applications that we developed for this machine is the scarifying attachment. This has TSR teeth on it. It's great for glue removal, patch, thin set, coatings of all kinds, you guys. Pool deck, cool deck, you name it. And these just pop right in. So let me grab that. For install, the plate on the bottom basically looks like a big sandwich. So you just take a little pin, once it's inside of the plate, pop it in there, and you're ready to go. So to remove them and go back to put on your regular tooling holder, I'm just going to pull the pin, drop it out of the bearing, and go to work. So I'm going to step out of the picture just a little. And this kit also comes with a rubber dust shroud and 3 of these for the bottom of the machine. So we've talked a little bit about weight. We've talked about the light, how easy it is to transport, how incredible a 2-speed machine is for different applications, slow speed for glue removal so it doesn't heat up your glue. But look at all of the things look at all of these tools in our toolbox for the Helix. It's why I get excited, because anybody can sell you a grinder. It's great, there's tons of them out there. This grinder is special because not only all the features and benefits that are engineered into it, but really the genius behind National, where somebody has developed all of this tooling to solve all of these problems. So you can use it Monday to take up glue. You can use it Tuesday to polish. You can use it Wednesday to take up thin set. The list goes on and on and on. So even at small rental houses, they have this machine for rent. The guy walks up to the counter and says, I need to solve this problem. The guy says, we can do that. The next customer comes in the next day and says, I need to solve this problem. He says, we can do that. This happens over and over and over. This affects your ROI, and as a contractor and end user, it really helps you solve a lot of problems. You can bid more jobs, you can get more jobs, you can stay busier, all with a low cost purchase of one machine.
Hey Dave,
Yes.
can you talk about the nylon clutch plate?
Correct, we can do that. So to protect the motor and the shaft. The Grind and Scrape Deluxe plate actually has a nylon clutch plate that is designed if you hit a redhead, or some people call them concrete anchors, depends on where you're at, what part of the country, what part of the world. It's what they attach walls to the floor with. When they rehab a building, they cut those off, but a lot of times they don't cut them all the way off, so they're sticking up. And a lot of times they'll patch over it and you won't see them. So if you run the grinder over that to keep from tearing up a gearbox or destroying a motor, it has a nylon clutch plate. I can probably actually, I don't know if you can see it from that far away. If you want, we can take it off. That's your nylon clutch plate. It's designed to shear and break. And you just replace that one nylon clutch plate. It's only held on by a few bolts, and it only takes minutes to change. Do you want to take it off, guys?
I don't think we need to take it off. I'm gonna scoot up to show it a little.
Because I can take it off, it'll only take a second.
Here, let me.
So I've got, just in case, I've got my 10 millimeter. And another nice thing about this versus a lot of the machines you've seen out there that use the same kind of technology, this plate just locks on there. Well, when you stop it real quick, it'll spin the plate off of the machine. National's incorporated this lock that actually holds it in place, so even if your new guy starts it, stops it, it's gonna stay in place because of this holder. So we're gonna just twist this off, we're gonna lift it off. There's your nylon clutch plate right here. You guys see the little Allens right there. Super easy to change, and it's a very inexpensive part that protects the gearbox and the motor. Another thing National does, just in case that doesn't fail, is it has more flex couplers between the two plates, and these are actually designed to come apart too. Most of the time that I've seen and experienced, if a guy runs a machine off the stairs or onto a dock plate, and there's a sudden stop of the machine, it shears the clutch plate. If it's bad enough, it could rip these, but these are also easy to replace, these more flex couplers, and they're very inexpensive compared to the gearbox or the clutch and the motor. And you guys actually can see right there, I think in the camera, to change those, you just pull this pin and you just pull this out, and then you could run your diamonds directly on the plate. That's how easy that is to change.
And then while we're close too, can you show adjusting the shroud for edging?
Sure. So while we're down here, that's a great idea, Nick. This is your edging plate here. So we're just gonna lock this over and back. And now I can edge on this side. If I wanna edge on the other side, I'm just gonna lock this back. I'm gonna pick this up, which is a lot easier. I had my plate on there. Just gonna pick this up and turn it. And I'm gonna put it on the other side. So now it's on this side, and I can lock this in. And if you guys can see, I'm gonna try to turn it so the camera can see. Now I can edge on this side.
And how close can you get?
Basically, you're almost right against the wall because the way this is designed, you guys, I don't know if you can see this, but these go right, your diamonds are almost right to the edge, and the edge of your plate is actually sticking out from the machine, so you're basically touching the wall.
Okay.
We're just waiting 1 second to see if there's any more questions. I don't see any questions, but if you guys stick around, we're doing a sale on the scarifying tool attachment, so just stick around for just 1 second and watch for this very special 50% off sale from National. Thank you for your attendance, and look forward to seeing you guys again soon.